Result. It's a tribute to all the ones who ran before me. Known as spit truth, so y'all can understand his glory. It's a tribute to all the ones who ran before me. Known as spit truth, so y'all can understand his glory. It's a tribute to all the ones who ran before me. Known as spit truth, so y'all can understand his glory. It's a tribute to all the ones who ran before me. Known as spit truth.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unsolicited, episode 17. I'm your host, the Evangelical Norm, and today we have got a guy that I hadn't even heard of. I'm going to review an album, but dude, I hadn't heard of him until he entered into the I Rap For Real Cross-Examines 16-bar challenge. Wow, that was like over a month ago that thing started, and and finished off the other day. We won't talk about who won, although I was his campaign manager and self-appointed campaign manager. But I want to talk about Dezzy Yates because I hadn't heard of him. And then suddenly I was like, dude's got albums. He's got, and one that he just dropped that we're going to talk about today, that we're going to review, Tales from the Checkered Backpack. And he's got a couple other albums that are out there. I think at least one that I could find. I haven't listened to it yet, but I fully intend to go buy it today and check it out. And so that's an older one, and I can't remember the name of it. I had it here just a second ago. But Dezzy Yates, check him out. You can go find this album, Tales from the Checkered Backpack, and roll that around for a little bit. Check it out. It's a really good album. I was, again, I get a little nervous on dudes that I've never heard of before, but as of yet, I haven't been disappointed. Two guys that just popped to my mind that just came out of the blue that I'm like, how have I been sleeping on these guys? I didn't even know they were around. Dusty Marshall's the first one, and then Dezzy, this album that came up. And I think it was like right after he dropped his verse for the 16-bar challenge that I saw this pop up. And I think I must have sent him a friend request. I don't know that he would send me one. Although, yeah, who knows? One of us sent the other guy a friend request, and I think maybe that's how I got, I don't know. Somehow this album popped up on my radar, and I was like, I got to check it out. And I was really impressed. I say that not that my being impressed by the album, not like this is a brand new dude that's been doing this. I'm always surprised when I find new guys that I'd never heard of, and they're really good. And essentially, it's not so much that it's an important thing that I'm impressed. I'm like, how are these guys not more well known? Because this is good stuff. This is not garbage. If it was, I wouldn't be talking about it right now because that's my thing. If you have an album and I don't like it, I'm just probably not going to talk about it. I'm only going to jump on here and hype up the ones that I really like because these are guys I want to see succeed. I want to see them do more. For my own selfish reasons, I like good music. So if your album sucks, I'm not going to do it unless you come to me and you ask. And I've only had one or two guys that said, hey, will you review my album for me? And I'm always honest. And luckily, I didn't have to be that guy to go, Holmes, it was bad. They've been good albums that I've reviewed. So there's the thing. And this is no different. This album is no different than the ones I've done in the past. It was really good. I was really impressed. It didn't immediately jump up into my top 5, but it's definitely probably a top 20 of what I've got on rotation on my phone. It sounds so weird for me to. It really does sound weird for me to say that. I'm an old guy, so the fact that all my stuff is on my phone now, I mean, and not a Walkman or a Discman or, I literally, I'm the guy, when I was in school, I was walking around with an old school tape player that you had to push the buttons on that were at the bottom, had a little pull-out handle on it. Cassette tape goes inside. That was me. I had one of those inside my jacket that I was walking around the school playground playing cassette tapes like Sugar Hill Gang, Run DMC, stuff like that, Hall & Oates, okay. Guilty pleasure. I don't know. I was a kid, so I had a wide variety of musical stylings that I would listen to, but mostly hip hop. So again, Dezzy's album, it's essentially his story. I mean, he starts off. I'm going to play a little clip of Tell's this first title song on here. I'm going to play a little clip of that here in a minute, but he tells you what it is. This is his story. This is like the history of coming up. And so a couple of songs that really stood out to me, I'm going to play Tales here in a minute to give you just a little taste of it. One Day was really good. I liked the intro and the flow of the song. Stepdaddy's Ultima, kind of his first introduction to hip hop is what he's talking about. And we all know, I mean, you see the posts even on Facebook in the different groups of, I fell in love with hip hop when. And so that's kind of this song. Mine was Body Rock by the Treacherous Three. Again, I'm an old guy, like 1980. So his introduction to hip hop was Stepdaddy's Ultima. Mine was, I was a punk kid in Kearns, Utah that decided I was going to start going and selling candy, with one of those guys that drives up in a white van, picks up a bunch of kids, takes them into a neighborhood, drops them off. They go around, they sell candy. It was me and 3 black guys that were probably in their early teens, 12 to 15, and 6-year-old white kid. So, and these dudes, they took me under their wing. I only remember one of them's name was Mike. Man, it's like 40 years ago. But Mike, and they were trying to teach me how to break dance, 1980. And so this was my introduction to hip hop. These dudes that were cool. I mean, they were teenagers and they were my friends. I don't know that they would consider me a friend. I was just the punk little 6-year-old white kid. Why in the world was a 6-year-old white kid out in a white van with some dude selling candy? All right. There's probably some laws that were broken there, but still, that was my introduction to hip-hop, and that's when I fell in love with it. And I just remember them playing and walking down to the corner where the white van picked us up, and they had old school boombox, and they were playing a tape, and it was the Treacherous Three, Body Rock, man, and they were breakdancing, and that was it for me. So, but. Not that we're here to talk about me, but there you go. There's a little bit of my story. Stepdaddy's Ultima was another really good song. And then he's got a couple of tracks on here that, kind of go into the whole pornography addiction thing and just kind of being real and raw with his story and stuff like that. So with that, I want to just play a little clip of Tales so you can get just a little taste of what this album is like. Now, I was digging this album from the very first beat and the intro, and you'll see why. So that kind of old school 80s video game vibe, right? So, and I mean, that grabbed me immediately, and then he gets into it, so I'll try not to step on him as he goes.
Yeah. Everybody's got a story. What's yours? Cause this is mine. Yeah. You can consider this as backpack rap, but I consider this as back to the rap. This is back to the scraps and back to the basics. Light on my feet like your Boris rocking Aces. Since 10th grade, I've been chasing out this rap dream. Always on the different tip. All they did was rap cream. All they did was sag jeans. I felt I had bag jeans. Found my checker bag at a Zoomy shop, and then I found myself. I tend to find myself thinking on the past. I was caught up in the drama, how life was moving fast. Wrote down how I felt, and then I put it in my bag. Went through 7 rhyme pads back at school, cause I was feeling low. See, I had trouble letting letting feelings go. Until I turned to rap and then exploded, letting feelings flow. Didn't know God, so when I prayed, I let the ceiling know that I was going to make it. Anything I saw, I take it.
Everybody got a story worth telling, a song worth singing, and some secrets worth revealing. No more concealing, this is where I bet it all. This is why I show and tell, every rise, every fall. Every trip, every stumble, every single thought. I give it to you raw, pain coming out the vault. I'm bleeding out the closet, no more putting on a act. These are the tales from a checker backpack.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go. There's just a little taste of what you're gonna get on this album, and then he's got a couple of features that were really good, and again, people that I never heard of, and that's another thing I love about finding new music is a lot of the newer guys that I hadn't heard of before. They get features that I hadn't heard of before, and so now I can go check these guys out. So PM Low, Treble Trays, Erna White. So there's a few really cool features on here. And so, again, great album. I would say my favorite song is probably Stepdaddy's Ultima. Really kind of struck out and hit me. One Day was good. Kid in the Crowd, and Temptation. So there's a few of them there. I mean, they were all really good songs. This is an album that you're not going to be disappointed by when you go pick it up. So I got it on Google Play. I couldn't find them on Bandcamp, which again is my preferred place of buying albums. But finding out a lot of guys don't put it out there. I think it was Stephen Brindle the other day said he actually gets a little more of a cut off of Bandcamp. So again, reason why I like Bandcamp, one, I can pay a little more if I want to. And this is not, Norm patting himself on the back because he's got a little extra, but I like to. If I like something, I want to support these guys as much as possible. So if they've got an album on Bandcamp and it's $7, $8, I'm going to pay 10. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of a tip for these guys just to round it up, and because, again, if we want to continue to get good Christian hip-hop music, then we've got to be willing to not just stream this stuff, because these guys don't make nothing basically off of streaming unless they're streaming like Kanye. They're not making money off of the streaming sites. Their money that they're gonna make to continue on to fund these albums and more albums in the future is if you're willing to go out and spend $10, $11, $12, whatever it is, to buy the albums from iTunes, from Google Play, from Bandcamp, wherever it is that you buy your music. Go buy the music just so we can support these guys and girls. I'm really Alyssa Wade. I still listen to that album at least 2-3 times a week, just for the mellow stuff. But I mean, I really would like to see some more female artists come up into this, but there's another rabbit trail that I don't need to talk about when we're talking about Dezzy. So I try as much as possible to dedicate episodes to the guys that I'm talking about. So, but you know me, I get a little wordy. So go out, pick this album up. It's Tales from Checkered Backpack. Look for his other stuff. I wish I could remember something about Little One, and it looks like it may even be something geared towards kids or something. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't bought it, haven't listened to it, but I'm looking forward to hearing it. So go pick up this stuff, pick up whatever else you can, support CHH, support our brothers who are making lyrical theology and just good, positive, encouraging. No, that's not it. Good music, entertaining music, glorifying to God. And so go check it out. Dezzy Yates, go check out his stuff from, go hit the Cross-Examine Facebook group and go back and listen to his verse from, the initial verse from the I Rap For Real. And I think he even was in the second round. So check it out. Go see this guy, and check him out. Follow him on Facebook and Twitter, Dezzy Yates, Desmond Yates. Some good stuff. So, and he's constantly doing stuff. I saw him on, there's another show on YouTube called God Flow or something like that, and I've seen him do a couple of verses on that as well. So he's out there, and I'm amazed that I never found him until now, but he's out there and he's doing stuff, and the stuff that he's doing is good. So go pick it up, support this dude, and as always, preach the gospel at all times. Use words, they're necessary. Until next time, Soli Deo Gloria.